My Danganronpa darlings, I'm not gonna lie, I feel so divorced this evening. I had this like stupid breakup thing, this like super good friend, just out of the blue with the vaguest reasoning. I pushed back on it. She said, never mind, that wasn't the reasoning, said this new shit, that was my fault, but vague as fuck. And I said, no, actually, you don't have to do that. I wasn't putting the pressure on you to communicate more online. In fact, here's all this is actually the reason why things are awkward. Just, no, I am so divorced in this Chili's tonight. A bunch of my best friends of the last like 2 or 3 years who have been living here in my little like foreigner community just left because their contracts all ended. So I'm just left here feeling like I outlived my goddamn series runtime, and the other friend's gone. And who do I go crawling back to but fucking Monokuma? I am someplace I didn't think I would go. I have roots in Danganronpa now. I had a moment of weakness, and it suddenly became the perfect time to play Danganronpa V3, and by God is this shit getting started. So if you're new here, sorry, moving the mic. If you're new here, this is Danganronpa Diaries. This is where I post all of my thoughts and my reactions and my delicious predictions for the games as I go. This is the third and final asterisk chapter, and I have a shit ton to say. Haven't played much. The format is usually like general impressions of the story, then predictions, then favorites ranking, and I chart who is going up and who is going down every week. This is the introductory one. I've actually got so many stories to tell, and I'm not holding back, so check out the timestamps built into the video so you can skip ahead to my predictions once the proper predictions begin, and the favorite ranking, the first impression favorite ranking. But without further ado, spoilers for, I'm just going to say the whole Danganronpa series at this point, and throw in 100 line for good measure. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to mention... Actually, no, I'm spoilers for 100 line scenario 0, the first scenario of 100 line. That's all I'm gonna spoil. Oh my fucking god. So this isn't entirely because of the divorce and my lack of direction in August. It's also not entirely because I have Oba on vacation next week and can do a pretty little mimicry of my Golden Week binge of Danganronpa 2. There's so many factors, but I have to admit the absolute number one is I went to a concert. It was organized by the Final Fantasy XIV people, and it kind of made the rounds on Blue Sky because the promotional stuff for it was called, most generic name ever, Game Music Jam Level 1. And the promotional stuff was a bunch of chocobos carrying a clock from Chrono Trigger, Yoko Taro's face from, the director of the Nier series, Sans, and Monokuma. And Sans and Monokuma had me like, and I had to be in Tokyo anyhow for Comiket prep. I'm volunteering at Comiket this year. So I was like, fuck, like I'll drop a mon on that. This looks amazing. I'm going to see Danganronpa music live. Hell yeah. And it did not disappoint. It was really amazing. I should do some kind of deeper thoughts and impressions on the experience itself later on, but yeah, basically really good show. Every separate segment was done incredibly well and lovingly, and Danganronpa blew the fucking house down, just off the walls, incredible. The live band had so much fun jamming. Their set was the Danganronpa 1 intro movie song, the theme song there. Then they did just kind of like one of the generic break songs, maybe like the first break song for Argument Break or whatever, in Danganronpa 1 Class Trials. Then for Danganronpa 2, there were 2 songs, and this is where things kind of got heated. They open with... But it wasn't Monomi's theme. They did another opening movie song, and that was pretty fun. But I was like, okay, this is it. I have to hear Ikotoshia live. Like, if this doesn't happen, I will be crestfallen. And Oh my fucking god. So full spoilers for the series, right? They did Ekodoshia, the rock version from chapter 5, and they were trying to show gameplay in the background. So I was crying, I was yelling, I was having this religious experience, like one of my absolute favorite game songs of all time being played live with such energy and these awesome extended solo sections, and the fucking footage they had in the background to, like, you know, set the mood was just like talking to Sonya in front of the Monokuma plushie pile for like 3 minutes straight, and then going to the Nezumi Castle spear room to talk to Fuyuhiko. It was literally just me losing my shit with a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV fans who couldn't care less, while Sonya Nevermore was on screen just like talking. It was so fucking funny, the B-roll they used. And I thought it would peak there, but there is one specific thing that really like affected me. The near music, jaw on the floor. But the first thing to loosen my jaw before that absolutely wonderful vocal performance from the two near vocalists, Danganronpa V3. When I finished 2, I said, I don't think I care about 3. I saw some kind of like thing online where it's like somebody pitched that maybe this is all a stage play. And I'm like, if you make this a stage play, I'm going to get a refund on the last year of my fucking life, because that sounds awful. I knew people hated the ending. I saw that I didn't like where the anime really took things for 2. And I'm like, I don't think I need more media than this. I just couldn't picture a better ending than 2. But time went on, and I softened a little bit, but I still just like didn't really like the vibe. But I didn't really have a choice anymore, because they played Psyche Taxi. Just kidding. That song was cool. They played a song called Debate Scrum. And I don't know if it plays during every debate. That's a new feature. They showed off the incredibly cool final evolution of the class trials in the background footage here. Better than talking to Sonya, I guess. And there was this debate where the class students are turned in half and they're facing each other, and I thought that was cool. But there was a lot more going on than the debate, and as somebody who is just constantly catching strays with Danganronpa spoilers, I know what happens in chapter 1. And I don't know if I'm going to say it right now. Am I going to say it right now, or I'm going to say it later? I'm not going to say it right now. I'll say it later. I'll build to that. But I knew what was going on in this scene, and I have to assume this song was made for that emotion. And seeing it play out with just the intensity of the live band and just the desperate, like a song, a synth that makes it feel like you're being put in a stranglehold, essentially. This song was just crushing and devastating, and the footage of this class trial as this character is being backed down into her fucking grave, just, oh my god, the expressions I was catching anytime I could read the dialogue on screen, I'm like, this is awful and so fucking beautiful. I couldn't get it out of my head. Just the visuals of the class trial, the atmosphere of the whole thing, that fucking song. It's been like, I don't know, 3 weeks since I saw it, and I just keep having these Scrum cravings, or it's like I gotta listen to Debate Scrum. And honestly, I mentioned the divorce. I was just, kind of struggling to process the emotions of this friend that I thought would be here till I die, just ditching me out of nowhere. And I'm like, this sucks. And who is there to comfort me but Debate Scrum? I just like listened to it and had a good cry for like 10 minutes and was like, fuck yeah. And I really let V3 into my bloodstream through that moment. I was surprised, I was vulnerable at the concert, and they got me so good. And man, that song and that character going to her fucking grave to it. Yeah, I wasn't able to shake it. And then the sleeper agent activated yesterday. So yes, that is where things find me. One sec, I hate this position completely. So yeah, that is how V3 pierced my walls of disinterest. But as a starting point, I have had quite thick walls of disinterest. I kind of just know myself at this point, and if I don't like the overall vibe of an art style, if I don't like the energy of a product, I'm probably never gonna fully get into it. Like I might, pick it apart and find certain things that I like, but then I step back and I'm like, oh yeah, but it's still that thing. Like I was a Gen 4 Pokemon fan. I technically started with the GBA games like I don't know, 8 months before the Gen 4 came out. So I was totally immersed in Gen 3, learned like all the Pokemon Gen 1 through 3. Then 4 came out and I'm like, this is amazing. And then that had a few years to settle through my elementary school days. And then when they revealed Gen 5, there was such a specific need to like make the art style different that I have never really accepted it. Like it feels like 5 isn't just new, it's different in a couple ways. It's hard to put a finger on as somebody who's not really an artist. What is different between Gens 1 through 4 and Gen 5? But there's something, and it's never gone away. I've played those games more times than almost any Pokemon game because the gameplay was good. But then I take a step back and I'm like, but it's still Gen 5. Like, that doesn't change. And I just I was pretty guarded with DR2, which is really funny. I remember meeting them and being like, who are these assholes? Like, I just, loved my DR1 cast. Like, what are you guys gonna do? And then I loved them immediately. So maybe this is all gonna just feel normal soon, but I just don't see it. I keep finding things to like, but this game still gives me such a headache when I look at it. It always has given me a headache when I look at it. It is so overly designed. And now that I look at the character intros, these characters, like even right off the bat, there's way too much nuance. Like I didn't even realize that there could be too much nuance in something. Like that's never been a value of mine when appraising art, but oh my god, they nailed it. They nailed it in Danganronpa 2 with like, oh, he's a Chunibyo, but he also raises hamsters. Like, boom, perfect. Every single one of these characters has like 4 things going on. Like, they don't, but like Gonta, he seems great. He seems very lovable. I don't know if he's gonna work on me necessarily, but okay, green, nature aesthetic, cool. Entomologist, okay, he likes bugs, cool. He's raised by wolves, okay, that's fun. And he wants to be a gentleman. Okay, well now for me, we've gone too far. Maybe I'm gonna be proven wrong, but I look at this character, I have to process gentle giant, raised by wolves, likes bugs, and is a gentleman, and I promise you one of those things is not gonna compute. I did really like on first rip, Himiko? Not Yumeno. Himiko, the ultimate magician? Not witch. I've always seen her and I've been like, okay, whatever. I'll meet her when I meet her. I don't know if I'm gonna like her, but I did really like her premise as far as like the more complicated ones go. Like she's saying can do magic, so okay, welcome back Gundam Tonica, but she can only do like, magician magic trick magic, and there's like this whole thing. She's funny, like I feel like those aspects together, like mage, but actually a con person, but actually sincere, but actually just doing party tricks, like that's fun. But in the same room as her, oh, poor fucking Tenko, I've tried to remember her name so many times, but her design just gives me such a headache when I look at it. Like, what are we doing? There's so many moving parts. Like her, in the beginning here, it's actually showing right now in the B-roll. In the beginning, they don't have their usual clothes, and it's like, no, I can identify Tenko by her eye makeup for sure, but then you put it all together and it's just like something has to go. It's just, you got the 4-piece shuriken thing in the back of her head, you got her really, specific and personalized eye makeup, the colors are all over the place. Everything is so busy all the time with this game. I don't know, maybe it's not even that. Maybe I'm like trying to intellectualize something and it's just, I don't like the art design as much in this game. Compared to Hundo, compared to Danganronpa 1, compared to Danganronpa 2. Maybe it's just that, but I don't know. I'm not gonna get too much into the characters yet. I'll talk about that later. But that's kind of where I'm coming at this. It's just like, I look at this game and I'm not thrilled, but the more time I spend with it, the more I'm like, oh, okay, so we got a school again, but we have PS Vita graphics, so like a lot more environmental detail. I can feel the horror. I like that. There's like a plant motif in chapter 1. Well, now we got animal well, because my other favorite thing I've noticed about V3 is like the blue and the purple neon set against dark lights. Like that's gonna be the aesthetic that I try to assign to V3. I don't know if that's gonna hold up, but you take the dark and the blue and the purple and you add some vines, and now we've got Danganronpa Animal Well, and that's pretty fun. So, like, it's cool. I like it. Fucking mono cubs. I don't know, man. They're funny, but like, how do you not look at them and get a headache? The first time I met them was in the fucking, I shouldn't have opened this, but I opened up Ultimate Summer Camp, like before I even played 2. This was the first time I ever saw Ibuki's sprites, mind you. And the Mono Cubs introduced themselves, and somebody makes a joke about them being like, you know, over-designed, the series has gone too far, or something like that. And that joke has really stuck with me, because at this point it's like, my Danganronpa Diaries are a parody of themselves. Wait till you see all the shit I've been spoiled on. The amount of stuff there is to be spoiled on feels like a parody of itself. Oh my god, the protagonist shit we're about to talk about. Everything about it is just like, you can't keep going, you can't keep getting more and more complicated. And I am, you know, picking that up as the first pulse and appreciating it and running with it. That's kind of just the vibe. I don't know. I told my friend Anne, hello Anne if you're listening, after I finished 2 and I was happy and I learned about what I don't like about the anime, I was like, well, if I don't like this about the anime, continuation of 1 and 2, I'm probably not gonna like 3. And then like, I couldn't really articulate why I came away not liking 3 from that conversation about the like, you know, school days, Makoto trial, like new killing game anime. Like none of that's V3's fault. Maybe it hurt my trust in like expanding the story, but none of that's V3's fault. So I softened and I softened and I softened, and then Anne was supposed to stay over last night as part of her moving out, like, you know, no longer having a bed in her apartment or whatever. And I'm like, Anne, come on by at, you know, 6:30 or whatever. Can you take me to pick up Kaida? And then I go to the store on the way home. No Kaida at the used game store by the station. She drives me to another one. We try to find it. There's no V3 there. I'm like, no! But we go to this really nice restaurant. I'm not going to say specifics, but maybe I'll put a picture up. I don't know. Just such good, like, purple, blue lighting. Such a weird, uncanny atmosphere. I love that place. Drinking, like, pure blue, like, soda from the extremely overcomplicated soda fountain that costs, like, 470 yen because you can make fucking cocktails. Such good shit. Talking about V3 and Baldur's Gate 3. And, just super, super nice night. Very, very nice night. And it's like, you know what? I want to start V3 here. So what we did was we watched the Game Grumps. That's what you're watching now. I first met this game through watching the Game Grumps play it a little bit because I needed to start and I wanted to share it with my friend. And honestly, like, I am very fond of this already. It feels kind of like Christmas. It's my last time opening up a new Danganronpa, and I've got fucking Aaron Hansen's Kaida voice, which is so funny. I guess this is just his generic girl voice. I don't watch much Game Grumps, but now it's the Kaida voice. It's just funny seeing some people who have already been through this shit for so long approach the new one, the last one, with fresh eyes. It's just, I don't know. It's just been funny. You know, anything I say is like, it's the 3rd time I'm doing this, you know? It has a certain funny vibe. But, at that point, I guess we get into predictions, but first, because I'm not doing, the Irastayas are almost ready, but I'm not doing that tonight. I'm just gonna say words. Let's start with me putting all my cards on the table, things I think I've been spoiled on about this game. So let's just start off with my very quick rundown of who the characters are based on my first impressions. I finally memorized them all the way down to the very last one, and the premise of the game. So this, for people who don't know, this is supposed to be for people who don't know and are just experiencing Danganronpa through Danganronpa Diaries, you're my dumplings. Love that you've come this far. This is supposed to be a separate story from 1 and 2. It no longer is about Hope's Peak Academy at all. Presumably it's not about Junko anymore. We'll see about that. And it's just kind of on its own, and they're reinventing some things. And yeah, different school, different vibes. We'll see what's going on. However, the first 3 characters, number 1 is Kaede. She is the protagonist, and she is the ultimate pianist. And she has a very cute little backstory. Actually, you maybe saw it, or you're about to see it. Maybe. Depends how long I babble. She's funny. She has a lot more, like, charm, I think. She's very, like, YA protagonist compared to Makoto and Hajime, which is nice. But in the locker next to her is a mysterious boy who's the ultimate detective, Shuichi. He's the ultimate hat so far for Aaron and Danny. And, yeah, the ultimate hat boy is just following her around. And he's also very just, like, I don't know, protag vibes. He's just very, like, serious and friendly with everybody, and for some reason he came as a set deal with Kaede at the beginning of this B-roll. He popped out of the locker, so they've been a pair, and they serve as the 2 protagonists of this game. And then, in no particular order, we meet a girl named Tsumugi, who's the ultimate cosplayer, and I'll talk about her more in the predictions part. Then we meet a guy named Rantaro, who I didn't have many thoughts about. And then I see him, and I see his sprites. And I go, holy shit, this guy looks like Komaeda. And Aaron was saying it, and Game Grumps, he's got, like, the funny frayed hair. He has green as his main thing, and his hand poses are very Komaeda. And he's trying to kind of, like, you know, talk back to the Mono Cubs and solve things in the intro. So right off the rip, I am like, okay, I think I'm supposed to feel like Rantaro, Shuichi, and Kaede are the big 3. They kind of fit that niche, you know? It's weird how things turned out, but I look at Rantaro and I see just enough Makoto in the same way that, like, I don't know, some concepts have now evolved 3 times. I look at him and I'm like, this could be a feasible evolution of the ultimate lucky student or whatever, because he doesn't know his ultimate when we meet him. And I am toying with you and fucking with you and having so much fun right now. Number 5, I'm just gonna say, is Maki. How do you even divide this into... How do I not say the shit that I know, or I think I know? She's the ultimate child caregiver. She takes care of children. But she doesn't like children. They just come up to her, and she's super cryptic. We're gonna move on to Ryoma. Ryoma. Everyone loves this motherfucker, and I think he's gonna survive the game. He's the ultimate tennis player. But he's abandoned that life, like Leon, because he killed somebody. He's just this cigar-smoking Shoma Ginzaki motherfucker, Teru Bozu. He's just this weird, tough-talking tennis thug who, like, killed someone with a racket. He's like, yeah, the life of the tennis player is behind me. I put a steel fucking ball through my racket, and I put that ball through somebody's goddamn skull. You shouldn't talk to me. I'll kill again. Like, okay, dude, whatever. I thought he just looked like the shittiest design ever. And then everyone I talk to is like, nah, Roma's a fucking chiller. It's like, okay, well, then he either dies in chapter 3 or he survives. That's what I've learned about these games. If I know anything, I don't know anything. After that, Kaito, because, I don't know, spoilers. I don't know what's up with Kaito. He's the 3rd version of the spiky guy with the goatee that Layla likes aesthetically, and he seems chill. He's the ultimate astronaut, but he's never been to space, and that's fine. That's like Danganronpa 2 levels of nuance. I like that. He's like a rookie because you can't go to space as a fucking teenager. He scammed his way into taking the test and did really good. So that's fun. I have a suspicion that's not gonna fucking matter, and he's just gonna be like the guy that says shit from now on. So Kaito's here. He's a bro, probably. Then I'm gonna go to Kirumi, because women like her, and I'm sure she dies in chapter 3. This is the ultimate maid. She has a really nice design. Actually, I haven't watched her character intro yet. She's the last one. Next is, fuck, what do I even, oh my god. Oh, Kibo and Kokichi. Yeah, the popular ones. Kokichi has some kind of spoilers. He's the ultimate supreme leader. And he wears like a Nazi hat. But he might be lying. It seems like he might be lying. Beautiful Lie. That's the name of the song. He's just a little gremlin, but he's supposedly the ultimate leader of an underground organization with like 10,000 people. Teehee. But maybe he's lying. Do you understand why I think this game is too complicated? And then Kibo is his friend. Kibo seems wonderful. Kibo is the ultimate robot, and he was made to be a robot. And that's all you have to say about Kibo for now. I don't know. I feel like I want him to be popular. And I want him to be like important. I was writing notes. I'm like, Kibo Big 3? I'm like, who could the plot girl be at this point? Who could this game be written around? Like, why not Kibo? He's hope. I'm sure he dies in chapter 5. Fucking cynical ass experience. Now, what the hell is even the order? I mentioned Himiko is the ultimate magician, but she wants to be called the ultimate mage. She says she can do magic, but it seems to all be like party tricks and sleight of hand and completely generic magician shit based on the first conversation. She is the witch character, but she's not the ultimate witch. But I already chose a witch. Irastoya, so she's gonna be the witch on Irastoya. I doubt I'm gonna find a female magician, although I can kind of picture a female magician Irastoya. I don't know. I'd be shocked if I change it now. Not Suibara. Who the fuck is Suibara? Is Suibara the cock and balls made from Death Synth in Pokemon Legends ZA that got compared to this character? I'm sure she is. This character is Tenka, and she's Aikido, which is an increasingly niche kind of martial art that we're using now. And she, Aikido, she has another like aversion to men kind of gimmick, I think. And she dies. I got spoiled on that. Just searching her fucking name after previously mentioned Pokemon maid character. Got a bunch of cock and balls from a girl rammed into her, and then I had to Google what is her name, why is everybody talking about her, and her cock and balls on Blue Sky in the middle of the day. I'm at work. Do I have to start talking about the weirder guys? No, Gonta's chill. Gonta's the ultimate entomologist. Fuck yeah, Ento. Raised in the woods by wolves. Wants to be a good gentleman. Is worried about coming on too scary. Does seem to be a little bit quick on the draw with like his anger. He's the character that's really big and does the exciting, like JoJo's Baki. Is he a fucking manga reference again? He does the Sakura Nekomaru thing where it's like battle time. I'm like 7 feet tall. I don't want to fucking talk about some of these characters. One of these characters. Thank God I talked so much about Tsumugi. Oh my god, I always forget this character. Angie is the discourse character. She's like an tribalist cult member. But she's the ultimate artist. She really has one of the cutest designs in this whole fucking series, and I've always thought that, but right from the first rip, it's like, haha, we sacrifice blood to a god, and I'm dumb because it's some kind of, it's Kodaka doing a bad. And he's gonna do a worse, I think, based on what people say about this game. How many have I said? Miyu, I forget her too. I don't know why I forget Miyu and Angie. Miyu is the ultimate inventor, and she's really cool. and does drugs and says really out of pocket horny shit all the time, and has a very like nuanced thing in her first conversation where she's like, fuck you, Shuichi, fuck you and your perverted hat, you fucking monster. But why are you guys mad at me? Can we be done being mad at me? I'm like, I don't know where you pulled that out of, but that is how people are, and I like that. She's gonna die in chapter 3 because she's full of charisma and can die like Ibuki did without developing and still be popular. That's my that's about the character. It's not a prediction. That's not a spoiler. That's the character. That's who she is. She is assigned dead in chapter 3 at birth. Thanks, Mikan. I'm gonna feel like shit if I forget somebody and talk about the guy I really don't like. Fuck, I'm gonna cheat. I can't even see anybody on screen right now. Watch this. Kaede, Shuichi, Rantaro, Tsumugi, Maki, Kaito, Ryoma, Tenko, Himiko, Angie, Mio, fuck. I got this. Only 5 more to fucking go. Who the fuck did I say? I said Angie and Miyu. I'm not even forgetting them this time. Kirumi. Kirumi, it's kill me in Japanese. Traditional Japanese, kill me. Oh, Kibo and Kokichi. Now I only need 2 more characters. One of them is the guy I don't want to talk about. Fuck the other guy. So there's a character wearing like mid-20th century army shit and a red armband. And he's called the Ultimate Anthropologist. And in his intro, he's like, I love humanity. But I've been spoiled on some shit about how fucked up this guy is. And it doesn't even have to do with the fact that he literally looks like a fucking Nazi otaku. I can't believe I'm dealing with this again. He looks like a fucking Nazi otaku, and he's creepy and apparently awful and the chapter 3 killer. And this is what we have to deal with. And now to the completely legally distinct predictions section. Completely legal. It's not predictions. It's not predictions. We're still talking about fucking spoilers. Oh my fucking god. So I was literally just going about my business, Googling shit, and I see Google AI or something, or like Google Preview. All you see, the ultimate cosplayer in Danganronpa 3 is actually the ultimate despair. Holy shit! Tsumugi is the most unassuming fucking character in this roster, but she's the first person you meet, and she's just weird enough, like a certain someone. And when I saw on the Game Grumps stream that this character, the last character, who I could not name by name, who I thought was a guy the first time I looked at her, who I literally had in notes for this video as blue glasses guy, I don't know who he is, it's the ultimate cosplayer. I stood up from my seat like my mom had been executed on television, and Anne said, "You good?" And I said, "I saw spoilers!" And she said, "What spoilers did you see?" And I'm like, I think she's the ultimate despair, but why doesn't she have any fan content? So Tsumugi has something going on. I'm convinced of that. And if you want to know why I'm convinced, it's because she's girl Eito. And I was just letting my brain melt and texting Liz all day today. And Liz mentions girl Eito apropos of nothing because she wants Eitaku Yuri. And I am just like, I can't, as your friend, reply to this in any normal way. All I can say is we will talk about this moment where I met Girl Eito last night. I've been thinking about Girl Eito all day, and you just said Girl Eito. You've never said Girl Eito to me before. She looks like Eito. The center part, the glasses, the mannerisms, and the sprites, the way that she like makes an alibi as to why she's awkward, like she's just being weird, and she's like, oh sorry, I don't mean to be so weird. Like, you're not weird. Like, she is fucking weird. She's hiding something. She's baby beta Eito Aotsuki as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like she's gonna be, I guess I can't get to predictions just yet, but I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna just like throw the concept of the ultimate despair to the wayside and have her be the chapter 2 serial killer. Because my friend who's into Danganronpa did say Korakyo chapter 3 double murder. And then chapter 2 is, or at least there's an expectation that chapter 2 serial killer is going to come out again. So I'm going to say, instead of like an actual like mythical serial killer, it's going to be like Tsumugi Ultimate Despair or whatever, chapter 2. I don't fucking know. What's much more interesting is Maki, because I know something's up with Maki. She's very unassuming at first, but she's weird, and people just talk about this character, man. It's just one of those things. They may as well both be Ultimate Despairs for all I know, because I posted, like, what the fuck is the Ultimate Child Caregiver? We have one of those now? And then somebody responded, no, we don't. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's just because of her joke where it's like, I don't actually like kids, or maybe it's because she's the ultimate fucking despair, or maybe she like was involved in fucking Kokichi's secret organization and she's been raising him, and it's like for you Pekka where no, we actually know each other, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna put stock in Kokichi being the ultimate liar. I feel like that just fits better, because the ultimate dictator, the ultimate supreme leader, would have been better for like a reveal. But I'm at the point where Kokichi is the ultimate supreme leader, which is fucked. Tsumugi's the ultimate despair, which is its own damn thing. And then Maki, I think, has something fucked going on. But at the same time, I also saw some kind of fucking spoiler on like Wikipedia of all places, where I was just trying to check people's names, and it's like, oh, there's this important event that Shuichi, Kaito, and another character, no, Shuichi, Maki, and another character do. I swear it name dropped Shuichi, Kaito, and Maki as a trio. And now I have to say, maybe Shuichi, Kaito, and Maki are the big three? And I say that because in this chapter, in chapter 1, remember how I said the game kind of made me feel like Kaida, Shuichi, and Rantaro are the big three? Piano protag, detective boy, and like kind of Komaeda vibes mystery student? Kaida is about to incidentally, unfortunately, kill Rantaro and be executed. This game doesn't have two protagonists. Kaida is a bait and switch. I'm sorry if you came this far not knowing that, but oh my fucking god. Debate Scrum, when I watched it live, was Kaida arguing for her life. The protagonist of the game. It's not just someone getting executed. From what I know, it's you, the player, going through something that must be fucking wild, seeing your protagonist, she is the main protagonist here, be killed, and presumably you go through the entire thing knowing that she killed him. I don't know the details, but in no uncertain terms, Kaida kills Rantaro or gets him killed. That character is a nothing burger. He's nothing. He just looks like fucking Komaeda. And then Kaida dies, and Shuichi is the protagonist of Danganronpa V3. If I thought chapter 1 was exciting with Komaeda's whole reveal in Danganronpa 2, this is really something else. I mean, we are starting off straight to the races. I really like Kaida. Like, I didn't care for her design or whatever at first. I'm like, whatever, piano. Oh my fucking god. Fun fact, on Tumblr, somebody, I guess the meme is that Rantaro is nothing. So somebody joked like, oh, it's funny how Kaida got executed for nothing. And people say this so often that I thought Kaida did get executed for nothing, like Junko. I thought we were just playing the game, and then Monokuma was like, hey Kaida, protagonist-chan, come on over here for a second, and just kills her in front of everybody. But no, Debate Scrum is her in a class trial, that she's the killer of, which is fucking insane. Fucking insane. What else the hell, what else do I have here? I think I actually said everything. Maki, Roma, yeah, I think Roma's gonna survive. Yeah, I think, now that I'm saying it out loud, I think they're trying to lead us into a familiar big three and then kill them and make whoever is the big three much more surprising. Or maybe there is no specific big three. I really don't know. It'd be fun if they didn't do that, honestly. Big three is like such a thing in the first two games. But I think I gotta go to bed. gotta go to bed and get my Backstories. And I struck out at 2 more stores today, so I don't have V3. I wanted to be playing it tonight, but I have to wait and just be like, and then like be sad, and I'm gonna get it in a few days. And eventually this video is gonna come out. All right, stay tight. Hello. Oh, crazy. Hello. It's been a couple days now. For some reason, I suddenly feel like I got the order wrong. I feel like I normally go recap, favorites, and then, yeah, I absolutely do. Recaps, favorites, and then predictions. So break from the predictions, I guess. This is going to be the favorite chart. But before that, quick story. I have been waiting on my copy to come in the mail, like coming home from work every day for like 5 days now. And it was supposed to be like a 1 or 2 day shipping thing. And there was just no info online. And like I just got something from Fangamer that I love very much that also just like didn't give any shipping info. So it's like maybe something's up. I call them after checking online. I call them. After everything online saying, oh, we're about to ship this to you, I call them and they're like, oh no, we don't have that shit. Like, it looks like the supplier can't even get it to you till mid-September. Can I get a refund? I was using Amazon because I happen to have like the remnants of a Prime subscription and my credit card gives me like free money at Amazon. So I'm getting this shit for free and I'm getting it fast and that's exactly what I need. So I'm like, cancel that, new person, give it to me tomorrow, go. It better show up during the 100-line stream because I needed this in my blood like 6 days ago. I am actually tweaking here. Anyhow, I keep watching Game Grumps because I'm trapped in this purgatory where Kaida Akamatsu is way more important than she's going to be. Like, I am just dragging out this intro and savoring every second in a fucking ego raptor Kaide Akamatsu purgatory dimension. And because of that, she is my favorite character. She's so funny and so expressive, and man, I just never knew how this was gonna feel. I knew it was the fake out. I never knew how this was gonna feel. It's a damn long prologue too. It's a lot of Kaida lifetime. After that, Shuichi, I like him. He clearly hasn't done his stuff yet, but just knowing what's coming makes me like him. And his eyelashes are cute. I think his eyelashes and then like his hat with the Death of the Kid 3 stripes on the side. He's so over designed, but like I think I'm really gonna like his design once he takes his hat off. I'm looking forward to it. He might end up becoming my favorite pro tag, if not my favorite character. But I do really like Hajime. And I do have a lot of fondness for Makoto. Speaking of which, I'll just skip to Rantaro. This guy has so much more aura than I could have expected. Looking from the outside in, I didn't think anything about him, but as I mentioned, he's just got these sprites, and he has this way of talking that's continuing that makes him feel like a Komaeda fake out. So I don't know if he's going to get an ultimate lucky student fake out or not. I believe he's the ultimate explorer or something, so that's what I'm running with. But he's all right. This isn't a super interesting graph, to be sure. Korakio is 0 because I don't like him. And crushingly, I know my friend who's only into V3, or mostly into V3, and was so excited when I said I was getting into Danganronpa. It's gonna suck to rip off the Band-Aid, but I know she's a Korakio fan, and the conversation will die immediately when I tell her I played V3. Anyway, Tsumugi, she's interesting. Did I talk about Girl Ato before? I'm sure I talked about Girl Ato before. If I didn't, then I'll bring it up next episode. She's interesting, but I can't say I, care much for her. Maki, however, is really funny so far. The fact that, there's gonna be shit coming with her, and she is already so, weird is just kinda... I'm fond of her. Also, Himiko. I didn't even know her name last time, but Himiko Yumeno, the witch girl, is in fact very funny, and she's kind of giving me, Gundam, Tanaka Gundam vibes. She just feels very, anytime she speaks up, she's funny. Her gimmick is very funny. I feel like she has a similar starting point to Gundam, where it's I like that asshole. I like that one. Kokichi and Kibo. Kokichi kind of pisses me off. I had a dream last night that was really elaborate, and then Ima Tsukumo showed up, and it got a lot worse from what I remember. So, fuck Kokichi. I don't know. I don't know how to read this kid, but, I am ready for him to be whatever he is. Kibo I'm more fond of. He seems alright. And I can't help but notice his ahoge. I cannot help but notice his ahoge. If he was designed to be the ultimate hope or something, or designed to be Robo Makoto, that's gonna be really freaking interesting. I like Kaito and Ryoma. I'll do them together. I like Kaito. Everybody seems to have a positive opinion of him, so I'm hoping it's justice for the spiky goatee guys for sure. Don't have much else to say there. The bit about the hug was funny on the Game Grumps. The fucking escape tunnel was funny on the Game Grumps. My god. Just let me play this fucking game already and stop having to go through the Game Grumps. As funny and like warm as this experience has been. Ryoma, I thought was the stupidest design when I looked at this game from afar. He was the face of like, what the fuck even is V3? And as soon as I talk to him, I understand why people like him. He just seems like such a chiller. And he has the fucking, him and Rantaro have the back turned sprites, which is like, what are we doing here? Why are we giving the Kirigiri sprites to fake Komaeda and leather jacket Shoma asshole kid? I like that he randomly talked about doing hard time. Similarly, I like that Miyu canonically does drugs. Miyu is really funny and definitely a point where the localization is shining through. I haven't seen any English localization for 2 yet. It will probably be on the cart when I buy 2x2. But I don't like the English Loken 1. I think somebody called it the Nipponichi software. Loke? I don't know. But my like $2 copy on Switch, I think the Loke is super wooden, so I really like the look they have for V3 so far on the Game Grumps. It's much snarkier. It reminds me a lot more of 100 Line. So that might be a big strength of V3 going forward. And Miyu definitely is enjoying that. Oh yeah, Kirumi's cool. Again, I've never been able to really, I don't know, she's just another V3 character where it's like, I should like you, but your design's just too busy, and just the vibe overall just isn't really for me. Again, like a Unova Pokemon, like Gothitelle or something. Like, yeah, I like you, and in context, I could be quite attached to you, but the art style. But she's cool. Her sprites are cool. The first couple conversations are cool. I have high hope for her. Tenko and Gonta. I Tenko's fucking Kitty Bell. I was trying to put a finger on why Tenko was my example for being over-designed. It's the fucking Kitty Bell. I can't process all of these things at once. I can't process the vague leaf look on the back of her head, or maybe it's a shuriken, and then she's got all these different colors, and then the Kitty Bell choker is just like, there's no more room for design on this character. I can't process her. The headband has like a star. It's like, ah! Her design kind of makes me want to yell, but she's been funny. But at the same time, like the Miss Andrist thing just reminds me of other characters, and the jock thing just reminds me of other characters. But when she said she wanted to incorporate, what the fuck was it? Was it something from Angie or something from Himiko? She made a joke about incorporating something into Neo Aikido, and I thought that was really funny. Neo Aikido might be a really funny bit. Angie has like the cutest design in the whole series. Angie has such a cute design and such cute sprites, but I am immediately uncomfortable with the whole like tribalism thing or whatever kind of racism is going on here. Like there are some funny bits, like genuine funny bits, like, oh well, it's a good thing Altu was gonna get us through the fucking murder passageway out of the Hunger Games, but I just have a bad feeling about this character, and I'm kind of assuming she dies early. We'll talk about that in a minute. Now that section with the escape dungeon hallway was super funny and did make me realize this was probably the only one to be affected by the Hunger Games popularity. Hunger Games, I think, had their whole run after no, because 2 would have been written while they were at their peak popularity. At least the books, right? I don't know, but it feels like V3 is the only one that could potentially give Hunger Games, and the outdoor setting with the dome does kind of give Hunger Games. That hallway gave Hunger Games. Yeah, it just leaves Gonta. Gonta's cool. Like I said before, he seems very likable, but I don't know if he's gonna be like my favorite character. He's fine. I like him. So yeah. There we go. Sorry, the scaling tool was killing my vibe. Danganronpa Diaries V3 prediction season is now open. Wahoo! Yay! Wahoo! I gave it my best. Because I have the spoilers I have and the sense I have about what's repeating, there are a lot of things where it's like I'm probably right about this, but I don't know. It's predictions, so these are always the funniest thing to look back on. So I know Kaida and Rantaro's thing, so we can skip that. Holy fucking shit, I'm not ready for that. My prediction is Tsumugi kills somebody in chapter 2, and I also think Angie dies early, so I'm just throwing her in there, basically. She's one of the free agents where it's like, I don't really have a lot of stock in here, but I am going in on Tsumugi being the serial killer. I feel like if we're doing Ultimate Despair, and I don't know that we are, and we're also doing chapter 2 serial killer, I feel like it's going to be gotten out of the way with early, because while the game does seem to be having fun being like a, what would you say, pastiche, just like, you know, the third iteration, it also is obviously trying to do something new. So it would make sense to get these things out of the way early. It would make sense to accept, you know, there's not going to be much shock value, because there already wasn't much shock value in chapter 2, Danganronpa 2, right? Because Peko Peko was like a joke. That Peko Peko wasn't a joke, but her serial killer thing was a joke, basically. It was good. It was a gag. It was a gag. But, you know, even then it was like, Monokuma was like, we're doing this again. So I feel like Tsumugi is the ultimate despair, is a serial killer or something like that, but she gets sent out so early that she doesn't really last in the fan consciousness. Because I have never heard of this bitch, that she's the last character that I had to learn for the series. She was the last one who I didn't know. And then, yeah, Angie, I just think is going to die early. Not a lot going on there. I don't think I have killer in my mind for her yet, but what do I know? Chapter 3, I know it's Korakiyo, and I believe he kills 2 girls. He also may be the true serial killer, and they might not even be incompatible. It might be that I'm right about Tsumugi and Korakiyo. I am so suspicious that he kills Kirumi. It might have been in the tone of what my friend Plataka said about him and Kirumi, but I swear she's gonna die in Chapter 3 and still be popular because she's cool. Similarly, Miyu is giving super strong Mikan Ibuki, as I mentioned before, so I think she might go out in 3. But Tenko is kind of a free agent, where I think she could also potentially die to Korakiyo. However, I think she also could potentially be the Chapter 4 killer, just because I don't know what to do with Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the one that I have the least clue what to do with, but Gonta is so victim-coded to me, which may actually end up being used like as a play with our expectations, because once I put him in for Chapter 4 victim, I realized he would be the third really ripped person who does like the crazy, like intense animation thing to be the Chapter 4 victim. So if we're supposed to be thinking about this, which I wasn't till 23 minutes ago, then maybe it gets subverted and he's actually the killer. I don't know, but I am kind of penciling in Chapter 4 as the Gonta chapter, just because, you know, they literally had a statue of Sakura in the chapter where Nekomaru died, so I'm doing that. Also, I accidentally opened up Sakura's PNG from the Danganronpa Diaries folder, so she lives next to the 4 for now. Chapter 5, I don't know what to do with. I think it's going to be similar to the Big Threes chapter from Danganronpa 2, where some serious story characters kind of have their thing. And I feel like due to like their presence in the fan consciousness and the way that they're kind of a thing, wink, and just all the potential intrigue going on, I'm going to say that Chapter 5 is Kibo and Kokichi's chapter. I don't know, they seem so popular, but I don't think either of them survive, and I feel like the shippers are going to have something to say about that, but personally, I don't know. My backup theory would be it's like a Maki chapter? I don't know. Also, we have free agent. Okay, Himiko is a free agent. I can't picture her doing fucking anything. And I do feel like she's pretty beloved. However, she could be beloved and still die early. So, like, Himiko, I could maybe slide up to survivors. I don't really know. Ryoma could go anywhere. But truly, honestly, I feel like he has such a firm, like, I don't know. He's kind of like Fuyuhiko, where he's, like, able to be like the serious smart guy helping you with things, that I could picture him having a practical use throughout the whole game and end up being surviving party, and that'd be very funny. So like I went from fuck this guy to maybe surviving party on him, but I don't know. I'm pretty confident for somebody who I don't have strong suspicions about surviving, but it would also be kind of random. I don't know. Himiko is chill. Maybe she could survive a while, but I don't expect it. Ryoma, for some reason, I could see it. And then we get to Maki and Kaito. For some reason, I think Kaito is like really, I don't know. Like, people talk about him. I mentioned I think I got spoiled on some sort of trio moment for Maki, Kaito, Shuichi. And to me, that could be a very strong, like, fake out big three. Sorry, I recorded the other half of the video a few days ago, so I'm realizing now, like, oh, you already said that. But yeah, I don't know. Maki's like I had like a chapter 5 death, chapter 6 death maybe, but for now I'm like I don't know if I'm even gonna use chapter 6. Or maybe she survives. Kaito just kind of feels like he could be a surviving party guy. I don't know, like I don't know. I guess it's the trap I fell into with Mahiro. In fact, I mentioned that in my head like a minute ago. Like, wait, you're talking about him like you talk about Mahiro. He seems like he's supposed to be a bro. He seems like he's supposed to be a chiller, and that's how they got you with Mahiro. So maybe I'm wrong, but for some reason, I'm getting this kind of vibe for the surviving party. However, there was something in the intro where they list all the rules for Danganronpa, and it's like, yeah, we know all this. What the fuck? They mention that the game will end when there's 2 students left. Yeah, that wasn't in the other games. And the students themselves mention that it's weird. And, you know, the characters themselves, like this is Monokuma's here now. They're talking about the other games. We are absolutely supposed to be looking at this suspiciously. And I am genuinely entertaining the possibility that there isn't a surviving party. It's just like Shuichi and Maki or something. Straight up. Straight up. Because if there's only 2 people, I don't think it's going to be Shuichi and one of the guys. I don't know. That's actually hilariously what I predicted for Danganronpa 1 before I learned about the surviving party concept. I actually thought it was going to get so bad that it was just fucking Makoto and Togami versus Junko in a big empty classroom. My expectations were so different back then. But I am at least looking at the possibility of no survivors, or rather 2 survivors, basically. No surviving party. I cannot picture it being anybody besides Maki. Maki just seems to have a lot of range, and if you look at this group of characters I see going the distance, like, it's all guys. And even though they killed the girl protag, I don't know if I can see it being... I don't know if I can see it actually being 2 guys. There's just something off about that to me. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but it just seems weird. It's not that Kodaka can't do that. I just read the interview where he's like, don't underestimate me. I'll kill popular characters. I'll kill unpopular characters. And I'm like, this better not be about Ibuki, you motherfucker. But, yeah, it's not going to be Shuichi and Himiko. It's not going to be Shuichi and Roma, except maybe it will be like, good job, partner. And then he walks off into the sunset, like, you did good back there, bud. You're gonna go places. I cannot fucking imagine Shuichi and Roma finale. Shuichi Kaito is like, that's the only guy pairing I could maybe see, but it's just whack at that point. I would need somebody to become such an over-the-top villain. I would need, like, Maki to be this insanely big villain. Wait a minute. Mastermind. Wait a minute, Mastermind. It's not Ultimate Despair. This sounds scripted, but it's not. The ultimate cosplayer is the Mastermind, isn't she? Oh my fucking god. What if Maki is the Ultimate Despair and Tsumigi's the Mastermind? I don't understand how the robots are working this time. I have not thought about that. I have not put enough stock into what the fuck is going on. I'll think about that more. If somebody like Tsumugi or Maki was like a big villain somehow, and somehow I didn't ever hear about Tsumugi, maybe Shuichi Kaito survive? I hadn't thought enough about that. Ultimate Despair is one thing. Mastermind is different. I don't know. Mastermind is kind of different. But also Shuichi might die, so I don't know. Yeah, okay, here's my prediction. Tsumugi is actually the villain for the whole game. This is clone Tsumugi. We get another Tsumugi later. Surviving party is Kaito and Maki. I'll be honest, you're a strange game, V3, but you feed a good prediction video.